Welcome back to the Good Eatin here in Byram, Mississippi. This is the South 78 Football Show. In just a few moments, we will have a myriad of guests here in Byram at the Good Eatin, but we want to shout out our sponsor. The Good Eatin here in Byram. Got a lot of good food up in here. Got burgers, got wings, got loaded potatoes, and all that here at the Good Eatin in Byram, Mississippi. So you got to swing by and check it out. Check it out during the show as well, 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights. This week, the Terry Bulldogs are going to take on the Jim Hill Tigers, as the Bulldogs will be at home again at Bulldog Field for a homecoming matchup with the Tigers. This will be the first time Terry's played Jim Hill in a good long time. This is a region game, but the last 2 years, Jim Hill competed as an independent team. Therefore, they did not compete in the region with Terry. This year, they are forced to be back competing in region play. So the Tigers, who are 1-6 so far on the season, will take on the 6-1 Terry Bulldogs at Bulldog Field for homecoming night. So, folks, we appreciate you joining us. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button to the TSJW Network YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button right now. We will be live at 7 o'clock from Bulldog Field for the Terry Bulldogs and the Jim Hill Tigers. We'll step aside, be right back. We should have Coach Chris Thigpen in just a few moments. All right, here we are at the Good Eatin in Byram, Mississippi. We're going to go ahead and get started with the South 78 Football Show, as the Terry Bulldogs will take on the Jim Hill Tigers on Friday night. I'm right here with senior defensive lineman Amari Whalen of the Terry Bulldogs. He had a few weeks off with the ankle injury, but you came back for this West Jones game this past week. Tough loss for you guys, your first loss of the season, losing to the Mustangs on the road 28-19. So how did that feel? How did that ankle feel in that West Jones game? Because I know, listen, you made an impact in the ball game, but I know it wasn't quite – we were just talking before. You said it wasn't quite to the level that you are accustomed to playing at.
Yes, sir. Well, my ankle, it wasn't 100%, but it was just one of them games where you, as one of the best players on defense, you had to go and you had to play, because at the end of the day, when my team need me, I'm gonna try to be there as much as I can. So I just wanted to fight through that and be there for my team.
And definitely a valiant effort in that ball game against West Jones. And listen, you guys made a lot of stops in that ball game, especially for a quarter and a half they did not score at all. Kind of talk about some of the things that you saw. They have some talented offensive players. They're able to score some points. What were some things you saw that you guys did well and some things that you'd want to tighten up?
Yes, sir. Well, I think we stopped the run game well. I think we did really good on that. I feel like as a D-line, though, we really have to work on our pass rush moves and get to the ball a lot more because that's going to help our DBs because when they can't get a stop or they can't get the coverage right, we can maybe get a sack and stop the play, So whatever we can do to help our brothers out on the field, I feel like what we didn't do well is pass rush. We just got to get to the ball, the QB more. Yes, sir.
This team has big goals this year,
yes, sir.
obviously, and we know what the standard is and what you guys have pushed it to be under Coach Thigpen. Moving forward through this season, you didn't want to lose to West Jones. You did, but you still have a lot of big football ahead of you. The most important football is still ahead. You got Hattiesburg later on in the season. Then, you have the playoffs as well as these upcoming games. All the rest of these 3 games are region games. How are you guys getting prepared for these ball games?
Well, we getting prepared from longer practices. We usually get our practice like 5:30, but now we get our practice at 6. We've been going hard. And my coach, Coach Benson, Coach Black, every day after practice, after we run and the physical part of the day, we all defense. We get on the sled and we push it for like 10 minutes. So we get that strike, get that extra power. So we just been working very hard so we got to go 3-1. We got to go 3-1. We got to be better, and we can't lose no more games.
Yeah. So what would you say? How would you say your ankle is doing right now? I know that, you were able to come back and play last week, but I know you're trying to keep recovering some more.
Yes, sir. Well, last week I probably say my ankle was like 70%. Now I think it's at like 90. Yes, sir.
That's good to hear.
Yes, sir.
That's good to hear. So what are some big things you're looking to see out of you and the rest of your squad here on Friday night against Jim Hill?
Well, for me, I just want to see a shutout because at the end of the day, West Jones scored 28 points, and I feel like the next game they shouldn't score because we should get back on all cylinders and get to the ball every play and have fun. Yes, sir.
Definitely. Amari, we appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to seeing you get back on the field Friday night against Jim Hill.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll have Braylon Beverly joining us now. Punter for the Terry Bulldogs. Going to be joining us right now. This is the South 78 Football Show brought to you by the Good Eatin right here in Byram, Mississippi. Yeah, you just make sure it's over your ear and then just use that to clamp to the side of your head, really. And you can turn it that way if you need to. All right, Braylon, we appreciate you joining us. Listen, man, so, look, you've done a great job as the punter for this football team. One thing that separates good teams from great teams is really good specialists. And you've been able to provide that for this Terry team. We saw it against West Jones where you guys were able to pin them back on the 2-yard line. And, in a situation like that, they were able to run out of there that time. But being able to do that as a high school football team is very big. Talk about your journey to being the punter for this football team because it's a specialty skill that not many people have.
Yes, sir. Well, this is actually my first year. I wasn't planning on being a punter, but Coach Thigpen, he asked me that I know how to punt. I did a little practice outside, and I got better over time. I got my soccer coach named Coach Mordecai. He taught me all the skills, the techniques of it. So I'm getting better and better over time right now.
That's for sure. And I know that you mentioned your soccer coach. I know that you're a member of the Terry soccer team. Kind of talk about that. Talk about having those dual roles. You're playing soccer, and then you got your punter for the football team.
Soccer, well, I'm focused more on soccer right now, but football,
yeah,
I love the game. I love soccer too, but I'm working on getting either an offer in soccer or football. If I get both, it's great. I can do both in college if I can. But right now, I'm focused on soccer right now.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But how does it feel that even though you're a soccer-first guy, being able to provide a service for a good football team, because it's a good football team that you're on, but that can be a weakness. Punting can be a weakness for a good football team like this. Like even last year, this team, the quarterback was punting. So you being able to step in and do that is just huge for this team. So how does it feel to be able to provide that service for this football team?
That's good because Brady he he can't do everything on the field. It's good for me to come help the team, use more bodies on the field, and yeah, that's really it.
Definitely. Braylon, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
So now we're going to have Coach Chris Thigpen joining us, head coach of the Terry Bulldogs football team, back with us again.
Everything going, Trellis?
Everything's good. What's going on, Coach?
Man, hey, another week, another opponent, another challenge. You know, it's what I love doing. You know.
Yeah, and we're back at it again. You guys take on Jim Hill this week. Region play rolls on. Last week you took on West Jones, took your first loss of the season, 28-19, to the Mustangs. You know, we saw some good things out of your team, but we also saw some things that obviously you'd want to get better because you want to win those type of football games. Kind of talk about that. What were your takeaways? We talked to you right after the game, just raw, but I know it's different after you watch film.
Yeah, after you watch the film, after you kind of digest what happens, you know, you start replaying a lot of situations in your mind. You know, it's one of those games where it said, you know, going into you want to win the turnover battle, you didn't really want to make a lot of mistakes to kind of hurt yourself. We were 1-1 with the turnovers. You know, total offense, man, we had over 400-something yards total offense. So, you know, you have that many yards of total offense is good, but you need the points to go behind it. And so, you know, it kind of hurt us that opening drive going 90-plus yards and not being able to punch it in or scoring, but having a penalty negate the score. And then when you go back and watch the film, you look at it and you be like, was it a penalty? It wasn't a penalty, but, you know, that hurt us, you know, not scoring that opening drive. But we always try to put an emphasis and prepare our team, you know, going into a game, whatever our first offensive opening possession, we're able to score, you know, and that's been really important for us. And then we got stops on defense, but, you know, we created some negative plays on defense, which was really good for us. But really our third down efficiency really hurt us. You know, Lindsey got out on one of those plays on third down in the second half and, you know, kind of extended the play, made a great play, a great throw that extended their drive. You know, we thought we had them in a good position, third and long. That's kind of where you want to offensive team at, and you know, he extended the drive. So, you know, we got to play better if we're going to beat a team of that caliber. You know, we got to play better. I was really disappointed in our special teams play. You know, I was really disappointed in that. That's something, you know, we try to pride ourselves on. We try to really make sure we work on and hone in during the week on special teams. And you know, I was kind of disappointed that our long snapper probably showed up on the live stream or people who were at the game. You know, I thought we did a good job of trying to prepare the team and him during that week to, you know, really be ready for the moment. And we had 3 bad snaps. You know, that kind of cost us 2 extra points. And actually on the punt that went over Braylon's head, he did a great job of just getting on the ball and not trying to pick it up and kick it.
Because we didn't even get scored on.
That's right, because we got to stop on defense.
That's right.
But actually on that punt, we actually had a fake call, you know, and it was like set up perfect, like how we thought it was going to be set up. We had a fake punt on, and, you know, we didn't get a chance to execute that because the first thing that happens on the play is you got to get a snap. So whether it's offensive or, you know, a snap and hold on a punt or a kick. And, you know, we didn't get that. And then on our last touchdown, you know, we go for extra point, which we know should be automatic. It wasn't automatic, and that hurt us. And yeah, you know, instead of being down 1 score, you're down 2 scores.
Exactly, right.
And so as a head coach, I'm replaying in my mind, should we just start going for 2? You know, Derek Howard didn't really get a chance to, you know, show his kicking potential. I know he had a great pregame warm up. He was really stroking it. He was really
Yeah, we were
feeling
watching
good,
that, yeah.
you know. And even today, you know, when we did field goal, he was awesome today. You know, in a live situation from distance, and so. You know, we like to say, you know, once we get inside that 20-yard range, we're in field goal range, and we should be able to snap, hold, and kick. You know, because this time of the season, the games may very well come down to a kick that's made, or a kick that's blocked, or a kick that's missed, and so that's very, very important. So I felt like we lost the special teams battle. And then, you know, that opening drive, we had offense where we didn't score. And then, you know, it kind of hurt us where they scored right before the half. You know, that hurt us. I thought we could get a stop, and we didn't get a stop, and that hurt us. But, you know, in totality, you know, Tootie Lindsay is a 3-year starter. He's a state championship quarterback. He's displaying a part of his game this year that didn't show up in the previous 2 years, where he's throwing the ball awesome. Like, the ball is very, very accurate. What they ask him to do is play into his strengths. And the Watson kid is probably the best receiver in the region, not named, Ty Keys, Tristan Keys. I'm sorry, in Hattiesburg. But Chandler Watson is playing off his feet for them.
Yeah, you know, those were some impressive players for sure. And I know you're talking about the special teams battle. This year's been pretty good for your team in terms of special teams overall. So I know that was a disappointment just to have it be in that particular game. And I know that you have the one side where you have the kicker doing well. On the other side, your short yardage game is pretty effective there. And we saw that with you running Jadarius Rogers at quarterback and having Rondé Baker there at the running back, and so you had the dual threat of the runners there. Talk about that a little bit, that development, because we saw some good things there. After those first few possessions where you didn't capitalize in the red zone, you went to that game, and you were able to punch it in the end zone.
Right. Well, absolutely. That's kind of part of what we planned for. That's kind of part of what we kind of anticipated may happen. You know, Chad is a guy that's kind of been a slash utility player for us for a long time. He's played running back. He's played receiver. He's playing defense now. So he knows our base offense, and he knows defense. He's just a smart player. And, you know, I was thinking, I said, well, you know, that's not really Brady's strength. And then we don't want Brady, you know, taking hits like that. So Chad is an elusive guy back there that can make plays, that can get into some of the quarterback run game things that, you know, a short yardage situation that'll help us out. Like last Friday, you know, we go out and we kind of had that in for about 2 weeks. Yep. And so we had that ready for, you know, Chad. And so when we called the formation and the personnel package, you know, he was ready. And, you know, he got the first down. And then the very next play, you know, Rondé goes off the right side untouched. So that's certainly something we're building on, and something that we'll keep, because, you know, late in the season you may have to go to it. And then when he's back there quarterback, the defense has to really play honest, because the quarterback can run it too. And you got to know that he can run it. So you just can't key in on Rondé or whoever we have back there at running back, whether it's Rondé, Brandon, or Cole. You know, you have to really kind of play honest as an offense and, as a defense. Yeah,
and listen, Brady Busby at quarterback he had a great game. And nearly threw for 200 yards, had 2 passing touchdowns. I mean, listen, he did what needed to be done. And one of his targets, Colby George, you know, coming off the 2 games that he was out. I mean, listen, how effective was he? He was able to get an interception and return it for a good amount of yards, and then also catch the bomb for the touchdown there. Talk about that effect of having the different receivers there that Busby's able to go to, because the offensive options are there.
Yeah, they're there. It really helps us. Kobe can catch it short. He can catch it deep. You can hand him the ball. He can play defense. He's a very explosive player, very talented athlete that's a good football player, and he's still learning things about the game that he doesn't know. Last year he played sparingly, but this year he's played. He's a starter. He's a guy that we're counting on. Offense, defense, and special teams. He's a guy we're counting on, and so, I'm not surprised the game he had.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we could have hit him one or two more times, on offense. Just thinking back on the possessions we had and the targets he had, and when I script my plays, Coach Washington told me, he looked at my call sheet and he was like, I see you got it on here. Some guys do, the first 10 plays. Some guys do third and short, third and long, and or second and short. But I try to make sure our main guys get X amount of touches. So I got plays for Kobe, got plays for Runday, got plays for Gibson, and so on and so forth. And so I think, when you approach it that way, that kind of helps us stay on schedule.
Yeah.
And, Bobby Petrino, a guy who I really, really like as far as offensive play calling, who's the head coach now at Arkansas, been a great offensive coordinator and play caller for a long, long time. Always say feed your studs. So whoever your studs are on offense, you got to make sure they get touches in the best way possible to be successful. And so, whether it's Kobe, whether it's Runday, we try to throw Runday some passes. We missed one late in the game that I thought, he could have caught and broke a tackle and scored. But we'll be better. And it's all about, trying to put your guys in positions to have success.
Now looking forward to this week, taking on the Jim Hill Tigers. They've been placed in the same region as you guys, but this is the first year that they are actually participating in the region and not participating as an independent team. They're 1-6. They've had their struggles, of course. Going into this game, homecoming night back at Bulldog Field, what's the focus, Coach?
It's back to the basics for us. I told the team today after practice, we're trying to get to a level of play where we're playing at a high level and we're almost competing against ourselves with how good we could be, how consistent we could be in our play. It's really not necessarily about Jim Hill or any other team that we play from here on out. We have to go out and collectively play well as a team in all three phases of the game. This is a team that we haven't played since I've been the head coach here. We're not really sure about them. We only have limited film on them. Their record doesn't in any way, indicate the potential team they could be. Yeah. So we have to make sure, we're focused in on our process and not just the outcome that is expected to come with homecoming. And so we've been practicing hard. We haven't been cutting any corners with practice. Today was probably one of our most grueling practices that we've had this week. And, one of the storylines is one of my offensive linemen, Zach Grady. His dad is the head coach at Jim Hill. And so Coach Grady also was one of the guys that recruited me. When I was in high school, he was a linebackers coach at Jackson State, so I've been knowing him a long time. And everywhere he goes to be a head coach, he grows the program. He was head coach at Murrah High School back in 2010 when I was coming out of USM. And actually, that was one of my first job offers. He wanted me to come in and be an assistant coach on his staff, but I decided to stay in the Hattiesburg area and coach there. And but around that time, he grew that program at Murrah. He had Malik Deer and some other great players. And so he's been a coach for a long time. And, I got a lot of respect for him and what he does as a coach. And so hopefully, we'll have a packed crowd on Friday that's there to support our team and everybody at Terry High. And, we'll have a good game day atmosphere. I think, it won't be wet. The field is going to look really good. And so we're excited about this year's homecoming.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That will be on Friday night because just like you said, you can't take a record to too hard because, listen, you know it well. North Pike beating South Jones
right.
this past week can tell it all. I mean, going into that game, South Jones was 7-0, North Pike was 0-6,
right.
and we played North Pike.
That's right.
And North Pike beat them
That's
and,
right.
and handled them. So you always have to take each week with a lot of focus. I know that you're getting the guys to do that. But, Coach, we appreciate you joining
Yes,
us.
sir. Thank you.
And we got some more guests coming up on the South 78 Football Show, brought to you by Good Eatin. So we're going to be joined now by Cole Reed, sophomore running back for this Terry Bulldogs football team. Cole, we appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you just put that down closer to your mouth there. Yeah, just move it down a little bit more there. That's perfect. Man, look, your snaps have increased over the course of the season, and we see your speed and your ability to get through the line. Kind of talk about that. Talk about your development so far. Obviously, you got more years to go. Talk about that.
Yes, sir. It's been great just getting a shot to show what I could do out on the field. Just, my development's going to come as I just keep doing it more and more. And I'm just glad Coach Deepin just gave me a shot just to show, show off my ability and what I could do. It's going to come more and more.
Definitely, and you're getting snaps on a very good football team, a team that's trying to compete for a state championship. Coming off a week losing to West Jones there, not a loss that you wanted to take, obviously. But what did you see from your offense and the offense that you're a participant of, especially later in the game once you got it rolling?
Basically, we really just, it was basically the same thing. We came out fire, hot.
Yeah.
Also, West Jones, they're a very talented team, too.
They
came out hitting. So it was just, very back-and-forth game, and we just had to, slow it down, just get in our groove, and then we started rolling. So it's just, we just got to – I say we just got to get into it more than how faster we do it. We go into the game slow. We just got to increase our, how we play, just play faster. Yeah.
So have you adjusted to being coached by this coaching staff and Coach Thigpen? How's this year been for you?
Oh, it's been great. The coaches, they all just welcome me in, wonderfully. I just love what they do. They always just, look out for one another. They coach you very well. And it's just, it's just a great experience being here, just being coached by these wonderful coaches.
So what would you say is your personal goal for the end of the season for yourself as a player? Obviously for the team, it's championship. You know what I mean? But for you as yourself, what is a goal that you want to hit as far as your own development?
I just want to be a better player than what I am now, just have a better development. For the team, what we are, we want to win a gold ball, and that's just what I want as well. And that's all we aiming for right now.
Definitely. Cole, we appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Cole Reed, sophomore running back for this Terry Bulldogs football team. Appreciate him joining us. How you doing? Doing well. That's good. Just get that mic up there. Yeah, you're perfect. So we're here with Miss Reed.
No. Cole. Miss Cole.
Miss Cole. Cole Reed's mother right here.
Hello.
With us, and we just talked to Cole Reed, so this is his mother right here. And I hear that Cole came from MRA as a transfer, and he's been doing well. Sophomore.
Yes, I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, been able to develop nicely. Kind of talk about that just a little bit. Just the adjustment to Terry High School.
It actually wasn't a hard transition. I actually thought it would be because how change kind of disrupts people from their norm.
Yeah.
But he basically came in, got acclimated to the program, started meeting peers, grades still good. So
That's good.
It's been a great adjustment.
And you can tell that he's great young man. He's definitely well spoken for sure. Now look, how's it been for you, just from your point of view? He says that he's been able to adjust well to the new coaching staff that he's got here. How's it been from your point of view? His adjustment to the
I would
coaching
agree.
staff.
And I'm going to say this, and I hope it doesn't sound weird, but I think that was to be expected coming from where we came from, and now we're here. We like culture, so it was just easy being around some of your black coaches that are also mentors. You know, it doesn't just stop at the coaching. So I think he was able to come in and feel like it was a home, like it was family.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And so my last question for you. So he's just saying that that goals for this year just to continue to get better and move forward. What was the big goal for you in moving him from MRA to Terry?
Just to go have fun, you know, continue to be a team player. I love that he's so agile. I love that he's coachable. So
Yeah.
just to keep all of that and stay humble.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you joining
All
us
right,
for
thank
sure.
you.
Hey, and that's the South 78 Football Show brought to you by Good Eatin. Continues to roll on. Yeah, get Colin Gowdy right here. Colin Gowdy, a wide receiver for the Terry Bulldogs. We appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, man, so we saw you get a real big reception there on Friday night. I believe it was on a big third down. Just a huge play. And a pass from Busby to you for a 22-yard gain. And listen, you've done a lot of good things this year. Kind of talk about your development at the wide receiver position. You've been on this team for a few years. Talk about that.
It took me a little minute to develop and get used to how I'm coming from middle school into high school. It's a different level. It's faster speed, better coaching, better everything. So I'm trying to develop good, move around as a team, play as a team, and learn new things from other players on the team.
Yeah, definitely. And, you guys took a tough loss to West Jones last week. This team has high standards and high goals, so you didn't want to lose that game. But what are some things that you took from the game that you think is going to make this team a better team moving forward?
Things I took from this game was we can do a lot better as a team, as we play as a unit, as we play a brotherhood, and do what we have to do on the field. And, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Last question for you. So, listen, what do you see moving forward this week? You're taking on Jim Hill, homecoming night. Fans should be packed in there at Bulldog Field. How much are you looking forward to that ball game?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to come in. After the loss to West Jones was a big loss, trying to come in, take another win, and move on in the district, trying to win the state championship.
Absolutely. Colin, we appreciate you joining us.
No problem.
And, folks, that'll wrap up our evening. The South 78 Football Show is brought to you by the Good Eatin right here in Byram, Mississippi. You got to stop by. It's got some good food up in here. It's all good, folks. Appreciate all of you joining us. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button to the TSJW Network YouTube channel. Also, like and share with anyone else who'd be interested in Terry Bulldogs football on the TSJW Network. I'm Trellis Williams. We out.